Is this your special mic?
Yeah, I need to interview people.
I like this with the ruler. Yeah, it's really cool.
It's very professional.
Very professional. We show that Tropic Marin is really on the top of the technology.
Yeah, it's his style. Where's Sam?
Where's Sam?
I don't know.
We don't need Sam. We can say what this is.
Yeah, of course.
It's a coral orgy. Yes. No, this is super cool. I mean, to me, this is something that really represents the future. What Sam is doing with this, with the coral sexual reproduction, and taking this to a commercial level with this new company, this is really, to me, amazing. And I think it's something that's going to really has the potential to change the industry. And also with the restoration, because these little guys, when you grow them from the eggs, they're so much more adaptable than when you frag a bunch of things and put them on the reef. Sometimes they die, sometimes they don't. I think it's super cool.
That's a very great project, even for the future and also for aquaristics.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this.
Hi guys, we are at the Interzoo. This is the booth from Tropic Marin. Next to me, Lou Eckers from USA. I'm Sven Kerber from Germany.
I bet you can't even tell.
And we are doing a little tour and introduce some people to you. So let's start at our very great tank. You told already some points?
Yeah, this is the new company that Dr. Sam Nietzsche is working with, and this really is representing the future of how this is all going to go, I think, at least when it comes to part of the industry in relation to some new corals that will become available. This is the sexual reproduction of corals, but on a commercial level. I know there's a lot of this being done, you know, in the industry for coral restoration, for coral research. But what Dr. Sam Nietzsche is doing with this at the University of Oldenburg, building up this company to bring the sexual reproduction to a commercial level where a little baby coral that's grown from an egg can be sold and purchased by a home hobbyist. This is really something amazing.
I just saw Sam, so let's
Sam,
go over to him.
Let's go say hi. Oh, but he's in the middle of a pretzel, so he can't speak much. So we were just talking about this, Sam.
I'll manage.
You'll manage.
This is Dr. Sam Nietzsche. Hello. And he's from Germany, so wir können wechseln. Und
Yeah,
Deutsch
you guys can
weitermachen.
do this in German. I can
Yeah.
just sit back.
Gut, dann legen wir mal die Brezel weg. Genau, ich bin Samuel Nietzsche, ich bin wissenschaftlicher Mitarbeiter an der Uni Oldenburg und auch schon mit Tropic Marin seit langem verbandelt. Wir hatten ein Gemeinschaftsprojekt, wo es darum ging, eben die Korallen auf sexuellem Wege fortzupflanzen und zu vermehren. Hier in Deutschland ist uns 2020 als ersten in Deutschland gelungen und das ist mittlerweile so weit fortgeschritten, dass wir eben von der Methodenentwicklung so weit sind, dass wir jetzt in die nächste Phase gehen können, um eben auch den Aquaristikmarkt mit Korallen zu bedienen. Gell, du? Alles klar.
So Sam, wann können denn die ersten Aquarianer, Hobby-Aquarianer deine Korallen kaufen?
Also, wir sind jetzt gerade in der Ausgründungsphase, haben jetzt hier die Cyreef GmbH ist gegründet oder in Gründung. Das heißt, wir bauen jetzt eine Zuchtanlage auf über die nächsten Monate und werden dann, wenn alles gut läuft, innerhalb von etwa einem Jahr, also vom Ableichen bis Verkaufsgröße rechnen wir etwa ein Jahr, bis die ersten dann auf den Markt gehen können.
Also so circa in 1,5 Jahren bis 2 Jahren
Ja, 1,5, ja.
wäre es für den Hobbymarkt verfügbar.
Zur nächsten Interzoo sollten wir das Ganze ein bisschen größer noch haben und
And I'm just going to interject in English that for you guys that think maybe this is not so possible and whatever, I want you to look at the bigger heads in here. These were actually grown from eggs, and those bigger heads are 2.5 years old. So this is a completely possible process. There's so many little specifics that you have to get into in order to make this happen. It's a little bit magical because these corals have so many specific things that need to happen to get it just to spawn in the first place, but to get that egg to settle and grow and then end up in a coral head this size. This is a little bit magic, fascinating science behind it.
Wenn ihr mehr dazu wissen wollt, wir haben noch mehrere Videos davon schon gedreht auf unserem Kanal, guckt einfach mal rein. Da gibt es dann die Details zu jedem einzelnen Schritt in der Korallenentwicklung. Wir gehen mal ein kurzes Stück weiter. Lou, we will follow up to the next.
All right, where are we going next?
I don't know, here. So this is our big shelf with all the products we are producing. So you can have a walk around.
So we have 2 lines of test kits. You got the Pro line and then the Basic line. And don't think the Basic is too basic. One of the things I love about the basic, it's quick, it's easy. It's just the parameters are a little wider in the basic than in the pro. A little bit more to do, but I'll tell you a secret. My favorite test kit out of all the test kits that we make is our basic KH kit. Each drop equals 1 DKH. The color changes from dark purple to bright pink, and it's like almost fireworks when that drop goes in. This is a super easy, super quick test kit. If you're looking for a way to test KH, go to the KH test kit. All right, we're gonna move on. I'm giving you my back for a second. Multi-standards, these guys help you check to make sure that your testing is accurate. Sio Control, this is a new product that we're coming out with. If you have trouble with cyanobacteria, you remove the cyanobacteria, you add the Sio Control, and what you're doing is that you're adding bacteria. This is not a biocide. You're adding bacteria that outcompete the cyanobacteria so it can't come back again. Completely natural product. You're gonna see this on the shelves really soon. Coral Clean, Protect. There's our hydrometer down there. People love our hydrometers. I'll tell you something, in the last 2 years, I've seen more problems in reefs when I do technical support from incorrect salinities than I've ever seen before. And I don't know why it's happening, but for some reason, people call me, they've got a problem one way or the other, and I track it all the way back, and it turns out whatever they're using to test their salinity is giving them a high or a low result, and that's why their magnesium is looking either off the charts or way too low, because it all traced back to salinity. So if you're using any type of electrical thing to test your salinity, or any type of visual thing like a refractometer that depends on the light being in the right place, think about getting a good quality floating analog hydrometer. It's the only thing that's going to give you 100% accuracy when it comes to testing that salinity. I don't know, I'm just keeping going here. We're keeping going around. Phosstart and Phosfeed, these are particulate phosphates that don't dissolve, so they don't really raise the phosphate in your water column, but they give the corals the phosphate that they need, that they desperately need, without fouling up your water with phosphates. Remember, phosphate on a coral reef water column is close to zero. But those guys need their phosphate, and they get it from particulate phosphate, mostly from fish poop. Well, this mimics that process and gets them particulate, undissolved phosphate without fouling the water with a bunch of phosphates. Reef Actif, we're getting to carbon dosing, nitrobiotic, amino organic. This is just the whole deal here of Tropic Marin, walking all the way around. Some foods, phytonic, zootonic, reef snow. For you guys that have SPS, zootonic is my favorite food. You will see your polyps really expand, those feeders come out. Trust me, zootonic. Now remember one thing though, zootonic, you can only broadcast it, don't target feed it. I take a little shot glass, I put a couple of drops in with aquarium water, mix it up, and broadcast it. I'm just going, but I don't know what to do. The worst thing you can do is to give me a bunch of products and just say go, because all I'm gonna do is keep going. All right, so we did phytonic, we got the Omega Vital, Lipo Garlic, Biomagnesium. Then we get over here to the triple buffer and the iodine and the Pro Coral Mineral. Sven, help me out.
Welcome back.
Help me out.
Yeah, so now we have our mineral systems here. Our trace elements, two solutions, the anionic and cationic solutions. Then our most important product, I think, one of our,
for sure,
beside the salt, of course, all for reef. One product to supply your corals. So it's calcium, magnesium, alkalinity, and trace elements. Most easiest way to have a reef aquarium. Carbocalcium, the classic original bulling solutions. Then of course our salts. So we have the classic one, the Pro Reef, bioactive antibiotic with some biological stuff inside.
Yeah, and you guys, if you're using automatic water change systems, remember you want to use either the classic or the Pro Reef. Because the bioactive and the symbiotic, those polymers will chain up and form these slimy blobs after about 36, maybe 48 hours. So if you have an ATO, you have an automatic top-off or an automatic water change system, you want to make sure you stick with the classic or the Pro Reef. Pro Reef, our #1 selling salt, so nothing wrong with going the distance with Pro Reef. But if you want to really give some benefits to both your vertebrates and your invertebrates, you want to go with the symbiotic, because then you're doing the carbon dosing and you're doing that probiotic for the vertebrates, helping their digestive system. And I'll tell you something, it also helps them utilize the proteins better, so you're getting less phosphates and nitrates in your system, which is always going to be a good thing unless you're one of these guys that has one of these systems that runs so clean, you're always trying to get more nutrients in there. When you're talking about the balling method, here's the man here.
Yeah.
This is Hans-Werner Balling himself. So this is the guy, I talk a lot about the balling method in the US. This is the guy that taught me everything I know about the balling method. And he's the right guy to learn from because he's the guy that designed it.
Have a look at this beautiful wall, our living lab. We really focus on single corals here.
With our wonderful avatar team at the bottom here.
Yeah. Here's Lou.
See, it's a very similar look.
Let's talk about our new ICP solutions.
Yeah, so Sven, you tell me when this is going to be available.
I think we will have another 3 months in Germany, and we have to see when we can get over it to the US.
I would really like to make this available in the US because it's a whole new way. You know, the big problem with the ICP testing is not so much the small inaccuracies, which exist, by the way, in the testing itself, but people get the ICP test back, they don't know what to do with it. So what we have done is we've realized through research that the ions exist in families. And if you look at an indicator ion, an indicator compound, that you can get a very accurate result on, this gives you the concentrations that need to be changed of all of the members of the family. So for instance, I'm going to go into a tiny little bit of detail here.
Yeah, just
a little bit. So some of the inaccuracies of ICP testing come from the fact that many of these elements have a profile that kind of overlaps. So when the ICP looks at it, you're getting a little bit of inaccuracy from one or the other. But in these families, there are indicator elements that don't have an overlap. So now what happens is, if I know the nickel, high or low percentage, I automatically can calculate exactly how much boron, cobalt, iron, and manganese need to be added to supplement. So what we did was make these block solutions that are the blocks. This is the nickel block. I know I can measure nickel very accurately, and then this allows me then to add with this one solution. So instead of having 30 or 40 solutions, I have one solution that's going to correct all of these at the same time, and I don't even have to look at the concentrations of these small ones because I've got my indicator that I can get very accurately. I'm super excited about this Tropic Marin block analysis system. I'm going to pressure Sven as much as I can to get this over to the US because I think it's going to change the landscape of ICP testing corrections in the hobby.
Very great product and a lot of potential for the future.
Yeah, we just need to get it into the US.
We will get it. We will have it. Das ist Hans-Werner Balling. Die meisten werden seinen Namen wahrscheinlich kennen. Erklär doch mal kurz, wer du bist, was du bei uns machst.
Ja, Hans-Werner Balling, ich mache Forschung und Entwicklung bei Tropic Marin und das schon seit 23 Jahren. Die meisten werden mich vielleicht schon mal kennengelernt haben, vielleicht auch von dem Bild oder vom Namen her. Ich mache die ganzen neuen Produkte und habe einen großen Teil der Tropic Marin Produkte, einschließlich Salze, die wir verkaufen, entwickelt.
Ja, ich denke, der Name ist vielen bekannt, allein schon von der Balling-Methode. Aus seiner Hand. Das nächste große Produkt war All for Reef, partikuläres Phosphat, alles aus der Hand von Hans-Werner.
Okay, now listen, while Sven is looking for somebody else, it's a little bit silly, but every good reef booth should have a hamon slicer and some hamon so that you can get really good thin slices.
Burkle.
Yeah, this is a little thick. Who's slicing?
Yes, I think Thomas sliced.
I will work on it.
Yeah, we have to work only with professionals on the Burkle and also in the business, isn't it? I have to move. Thank you so much for the booth.
I'm eating herbs, I'm sorry. Another crucial member of the team, back behind the counter here. This is Leslie, my wife, and for those of you that are in the US, you know that all I do is make a lot of noise, and I'm the big mouth of the business, but if anything's really gonna happen in the business, if you're gonna get your order, if we're gonna have the product, if anything's gonna get coordinated, it's gonna happen that Leslie's gonna do it, not me. All I do is be the mouth of the business. When you call and you have a problem, I talk to you. But when you want your materials, you want your products, Leslie's going to make sure that happens.
So we have the talking area from Aquarium Münster with Mark Palsmeier, Moritz Palsmeier, Stefan Moring. We don't like to interrupt them, but
I do sometimes, but it's just me.
yeah. But you can talk a bit about Aquarium Münster. You
So,
also,
yeah, we handle Aquarium Münster in the US. These guys at Aquarium Münster really are the top company in the world when it comes to ornamental fish medications. We offer the medications over in the US, but I think they're much bigger in Germany and the rest of the world. We're also working on some FDA regulations over in the US and really excited about where that's leading. The other thing that these guys do is really awesome. Come on with me. We're fortunate enough today to have the man himself, Dr. Basilier, here. This is the guy that developed all of these foods. These are super high in protein, very, very high quality protein. All of the protein in these foods, that's animal proteins, comes from wild caught Scandinavian whitefish, super clean.
Hello, nice to meeting you all and listening to this video. I hope it brings you something worthwhile to be more happy in the hobby.
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't want to sell fish food in the United States, but Mark and Dirk sent a bunch of samples over to me. I used them in my tank, and when I saw the difference in my fish, I was like, okay, let's talk about this. We got to bring this food over because it really does make a difference. We're talking corals over there. Over here, we're talking fish. Or shrimp, by the way. Try the Basilier Biofish food. You will love it, and you will see the difference in your fish.
Okay, nice to hear that you're just telling what I tried to work out for 30 years ago.
It's a true story.
Thank you.
I didn't want to sell fish food, but when I saw my fish, I had to.
Okay, let's the fish talk the language. Eh?
And the last thing is, you make the best travels in the world, and I see pictures from all over the world. I'm waiting for my invite so I can go with you.
Thank you. Thank you much.
thank you very much.
Over on this side of the booth, we've got Flipper. And I'm telling you guys, when I had my 150-gallon cichlid tank, we're getting out of reefs now, with the 150-gallon cichlid tank, the only thing that I could get that would actually clean that glass away I needed to get was this Flipper guy. This is the coolest thing in the world. I'm not going to demonstrate it because I'm not that great at it right now, but this thing will flip over. You've got the scraper on one side, you've got the brush on the other side, and it's the only thing that I could ever find that would, you know, in the cichlid tank, they're eating so much. You've always got algae growing on the glass. This is a beautiful coral tank, which is squeaky clean, so I don't even have that much to show with cleaning, but in my cichlid tank, always had problems with algae. This was the only thing that I could really get that had enough power to really clean that glass off. And you can easily flip it from one side to the other just from the outside.
So,
there you go. And then you've got the brush on that side. We had the scraper first and now we've got the brush. But I'm telling you, you're not seeing the result of this because this tank is so squeaky clean right now. But you got a big tank, real thick glass. The Flipper is what you want.
they're really great. And also they have the great lenses to have a closer look to your corals. Even with the filter in orange. So,
yeah, if you want to take a picture, you need this one.
Yeah, you need this one. Der junge Mann hat das Aquarium hier aufgestellt. Möchtest du ein bisschen was zu erklären?
Das ist ja das Reef Tank mit der Deltec-Box drin. Ne? Wir haben die in zwei Varianten, einmal mit der Deltec und einmal die Royal. Das ist ein komplettes System, ne? Mit Fließfilter, mit Medienfilter, Förderpumpe, da ist alles mit dabei.
Also für jemanden, der in die Aquaristik einsteigen will und sich keine Gedanken machen möchte, welches System ich kaufe, hier habe ich einmal alles zusammen.
Genau, ich verrohre das direkt bei uns in der Firma vor Ort, alles fertig. Und dann wird es nur noch Plug and Play, du brauchst nur noch anzuschrauben und dann hast du es fertig drin. Genau.
Super, ganz einfach, Einstieg für alle. Danke dir.
Bitte.
All right, guys, there you go. Interzoo 2024, the Tropic Marin Aquarium Munster. I love it. What about it, Sven?
Vielen Dank, Lou, dass du mich begleitet hast. Das ist unser toller Stand auf der Interzoo 2024. Wir hoffen, ihr hattet ein bisschen Spaß und habt was dazugelernt.
24.
24.
I can do that
Yeah,
in
you
German.
can do it.
Yeah.
You're perfect in German.
Okay. Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.